Ladies and gentlemen, today is July 21st, 2015, and this is the KNKL Show, episode 246. I'm your host, Kienan Lafferty, and I'm back from my cruise to Ensenada, Mexico. You may notice that I am a bit darker, more tan than when I left you. I did experience a lot of sun, and today is a very special day because we are going to be getting right back on into Pool Party Tam Kench, right? It was Lulu the whole time. It was Lulu the whole time. No, just kidding. This is just, we were being silly during the pre-show. We got that out of the way. But the most important part before we get into the daily is, of course, your guys' creations, your guys' art, the lovely Lane on the Facebook. Thank you guys so much for submitting your sexy ladies, as well as your just overall amazing art. You guys are getting so good. You blow my mind every time I get on here. If you would like to like the Facebook, if you'd like to go and like the Facebook yourself and submit art, and what the heck is going on? This is like really laggy or something. You guys got to see the sexy Draven, by the way. That's so awesome. If you want to check these out, that tiny URL at the bottom, just type that into your browser or just Facebook, KNKL Show, whatever you do. And then, post your art, get featured on the show, and come get some cookies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with all that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get into the tutorial. And today, I totally forgot. Today we are going to be doing the face. It's not any coincidence that I drew on the face because we're going to be painting the face today, okay? But before we actually do that, we have a couple more things too. Let's go ahead and wrap up what we were learning about last week. And for those of you who don't know, this is part 4 of a series where I'm working on Pool Party Lulu. So if you're curious of how I got to this point and you're watching on YouTube, then go ahead and check out the other parts. It's going to be freaking awesome. All right, so what we learned last time, what we learned in the last episode was all about line coloring. So we basically line coloring basically has to do with this. We start with this nice clean line art. Just look at how nice it is. It's so clean, so nice. And then we drop our good old mask behind it, our masked colors. But then we notice that the lines themselves, they're kind of blending with some of our colors. Like they're very dark blue. That's the color of our lines. They're a very dark blue, as you can see over here in this corner. And they're kind of muddy, right? They're kind of muddy, and we want to start adding some color to those lines to begin softening and adding what we call subsurface scattering. And a subsurface scattering effect, a bloom effect, it just makes things look more lively, puts life back into our painting, and prepares the lines for teleportation away somewhere. We're going to make the lines disappear, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that right now. Okay, so just as a quick reminder, let me show you exactly how this works. So let's focus on this yellow part of this tube right here and see how I'm just going to start adding in this orange to this line here right around the yellow, and see how now it starts feeling much more realistic. It starts feeling much more realistic, and it gives our inner tube life. I know it's an inanimate object, but today you're just gonna have to bear with me, okay? It is alive, okay? It's alive, or technically speaking, it is alive. For the sake of the show, it's alive, okay? All right, so there you go. That's basically what we're doing in a nutshell. And now we're gonna start moving that into the face, and I'm going to magically make these lines disappear, and you're gonna watch. You're gonna watch, okay? So check this out. All right. So for the face, what I told you guys about is we like to work with reds around the skin tones, okay? So check out what color we're actually using. Using this very saturated purple right here. Interesting, no? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take that. We're going to go ahead and put that onto other areas of the face, such as the nose, the blush, the little eyelids, and these are very subtle changes, mind you. You got to look really closely. You got to look really closely at your monitor right now. Promise some sort of screaming monster will not pop up and scare the living daylights out of you, but rather I will show you a very special trick, or very special. I don't like to say trick because it's like art is not tricks. Art is techniques. To be honest, there are some tricks. Okay, whatever. I take it back. There are some tricks, but yeah, I don't like to think of what I teach as tricks. You're not going to trick your way into a professional job. Actually, technically, you could do that too. Steve Argyle told me a really good story about how he tricked his way into a professional career. So, I don't know. Maybe what I'm saying today has no merit whatsoever. But regardless, that is more so a story Steve Argyle can tell you, and not so much me. But anyway, I'm digressing right from the start because I'm awesome. So I'm adding a little bit more darkness into the eyes because I do want them to be dark in the eyelashes, and that's also part of the shadowed area, part of the shadow area under here. So this is going to be very, very dark. Very, very dark colors under here, very, very dark colors back here. But see how I'm not going straight to black? I'm not painting in black, painting in this color. Oh, and the other thing I need to tell you guys about is notice how we have our lines here, this layer right here, FG, that's our foreground lines. This is what the colors look like behind the lines. A little bit scary, but luckily the lines come in and save the day. But then you see this layer right here. This is actually a clipping mask that is the colors, basically. So what this allows us to do, look, if I unclip it, this is basically what our layer looks like. And what the clipping mask does is it basically clips it back. It like puts it through the filter of those lines and then only shows those colors where the lines exist. And this is handy so that way you can sort of like lay your colors in, and then if you don't like them, say if, let's find a place where there's like normal colors. Like, I think these are like normal colors. Oh, no. Say on this rod here. Say we can like lay in like this silver. And say we don't like that. That actually looks really good. But let's say we didn't like it and we wanted to erase it. You just go back in and erase it. Takes your lines right back to where they were. I'm actually going to leave that silver there because that was actually really nice. But see how that makes the lines begin to disappear like that? Interesting. We'll go ahead and get back to that in a second. Okay, but anyway, digressing again. We need to get back to this face. I'm glad you guys are having fun. Oh, it's so nice to have you guys all back. I'm glad you guys did not forget about me. I did not fall off the ship and die forever. I am back. For now. So anyway, let's get back to the mouth. I'm going to go ahead and paint in the mouth areas. And just see how just like nice that makes everything look. It's a small change, but it really starts to give life back into your drawings. Super simple way to set up your drawings. Makes me happy every time. It's just a delight. It's a delight for the senses. Okay, now let me show you a cool little, speaking of subsurface scattering, check this out. That line already exists there. And we're going to simulate subsurface scattering by taking this red and we're going to blend this right into that nose. Look at that. See that? Boom. Instant subsurface scattering. Easy. All right, and I'm going to go and put that there, put that there. Looks good. Just softening all these lines on the face. Ooh, that looks really nice. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I do want darkness back in here, though. We need a little bit more nocturne back in here. So let's go ahead and make sure we lay that darkness back in there. Because remember what we're going for. The word is contrast, ladies and gentlemen. Contrast. Can you tell I'm a little bit more animated today? I was just in a good mood. I'm in a really good mood today. I don't know why. Just feeling quite good today. It's a good day. It's a good day in the life of Kienan Lafferty. All right, so that's looking grand. So you can see we are softening our lines, blending them into what we're working with. And pretty soon we're going to start blending. We're going to start blending and making these lines disappear before your very eyes. All right, but first we need a little bit more color on these, or we need a little bit more darkness on these hair pieces here. Let me make sure you guys are good. Oh, good. You guys are just being so nice to each other in the chat. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy that you guys don't need a babysitter all the time. You know, it's actually really funny. I was having a discussion with my buddy. You guys might know him, the real Grizzly Games, Colton Kresser, my roommate, right? Colton. He's doing streaming for video games, right? And he always complains to me about how the people in his chat are always like really kind of rude or like immature. And he's like asking me like what to do about it. And I was like, I don't know. Most people are like really nice in my stream. And I think it's because, I don't know. I think it's just the demographic. I think it's just the people that are interested in watching stuff like this versus people that watch Call of Duty. But I don't know. That might just be a hunch. It might just be a hunch. Might be a tad bit judgmental. But hey, you guys are awesome. Just wanted to say thank you guys for being an amazing audience and a great community. You guys are really awesome. And you give back. It's like you guys send me your art. So that's just the cherry on top. That's just the cherry on top of all of it. So you guys are awesome, plain and simple. And that wraps that up. All right. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Feeling very good. Oh, not that. Not feeling good about that. That was not a good idea. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. There we go. Cool. Hey, that looks really nice. That looks really nice. Alrighty, peoples. So I think we're about ready to begin. I'm actually going to make this nose even more subsurfaced. Even more subsurfaced. Let's make it really bright. Whoops, not that bright. Not like that. Maybe more like that. Oh, yeah, there you go. See that? Look at that. You see what we just did there? Boom, subsurface. So easy. So easy. I'm going to put a little bit more lightness in these eyes as well. Oh, not like that. Is that what I wanted? It's pretty good. Let's make it a little bit more yellow. A tad bit more yellow. And then we'll do some overpainting. Oh, no, that was bad. A little bit more overpainting. That was close. That was close. Good thing we have the history. See, this is why I feel like I could never be a traditional artist. Because I would make one mistake. I'm like, it's done. The painting's ruined. Just started. All right, everybody, pack it up. We're going home. Pack it up. I'm done being an artist. And then the show would just end right there. All right. To Swain saying, you helped me improve my work 100%. You're awesome. I have increased Swain's stats by 100%. That is awesome. All righty, peoples. So, all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this overpaint. I think we're finally ready to do what I told you guys we were going to do from the very beginning, and that is overpainting. Yes, but before we do that, just zooming out. Okay, now do you see? Look at this. Look at this. This is a prime example. I'm zooming out just to get a better read on my overall values because it's easy to have the picture look good when you're zoomed in like this. But really, all of your viewers are going to be looking at the entire picture. So it's very important that you pull out, look at everything. But I want you guys to pay attention specifically in this area with the face, okay? Now, all I've done is painted the lines, okay? This is just the lines. See, I can see the color in the lines that I'm just putting on with my clipping mask right here, down here in the layers tab. Clipping mask on, see it changes the color of the lines. Put that color on. Now see how it's beginning to soften those lines and it almost looks like a painting already? See this, you can clearly see the difference between the lines and the color. All we're doing is softening that. We're softening that, prepping it, getting it ready to vanish into thin air. And I've revealed the secret. That is the secret. All right, so let's go ahead and do the overpainting. Let's actually get in and do the overpainting, which is laughably kind of the easy part. It's kind of I hyped it up, but it's like kind of really easy. But let's go ahead and do it anyway. Okay, so we're gonna just use our good old chalk brush. Just use our good old chalk brush. I'm in such a good mood. I don't know why. I'm in so good mood. I think taking a little break, taking a little vacation, give me some time to think. Give me some time to think about. I can't believe all the sexy people that watch my show. I should be really grateful for that. I should be really grateful and happy for that. All the amazing artists that watch my show. And yeah, I should really be giving that 110%. I'm gonna get back there and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it like Shia LaBeouf. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Then I feel sorry for you. So anyway, going into overpainting. I'm starting with the hair because I'm crazy and I'm stalling. Let's do the face. Here we go. Okay, so this is literally like one of the easiest parts of the painting because you've already done a lot of the work. See how all these colors are already here. And now I'm going to just Alt-click. I'm going to Alt-click and grab my colors. Grab colors. So let's say, well, this is how people disappear. This is how lines disappear right here. So see, I want you to think about lines as a difference in contrast, okay? So basically you have a contrast between this light shape here and this dark shape right here. And then where these two things intersect, you have a line, okay? Or a percentage symbol, or if you're naughty, it looks like something else. But that is besides the point. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Okay, so we have that contrast that is happening, light and dark. Now, to start making your lines disappear, you're going to want to start blending those lines, okay? So you're going to say, okay, well, we have dark colors here, so let's go ahead and start blending those colors into here. Let's use the darkness of the hair and go ahead and blend the edge of this face into... I can only imagine what you guys are saying. Okay, okay, never mind. You guys aren't being naughty. Okay, good. You guys are behaving yourselves. Okay, I can always count on you. I can always count on you. Okay, now look at that. Boom. We just removed that line. But still, it exists in our mind. It exists in our mind because that contrast is still there. Still there, okay? Now this bright tentacle, I imagine it kind of like goes up in here, so we'll have like a bright shape in here. And that will give us a nice kind of read right there. And then you can have, usually I like to have little lines. I like to retain just a tad bit of my lines. But see how I blend them to the point where it's almost like a gradient that goes right into the edge. It no longer is just a straight line, like a thick line that goes through there. It's a smooth gradient towards the edge. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, keep it in mind. And we're working OP layer. It's called OP for a reason because it is overpowered and it is over everything. Your word is law now. So any color that you lay down, you are now the king of this castle. And you get to call the shots. You get to call the shots. You don't just you're not going to just let your drawing drift and get into trouble. You are going to call the shots, okay? You're going to set it up. Okay, so immediately, look, just that little thing. Ah, you see what we're doing now? Whoa, how to render like a splash artist. Look at that. Make your lines disappear into thin air with this amazing trick. Brought to you by Kienan Lafferty, which you can be taught for the low price of pledging on the Patreon or something. I don't know. If you want to. If you want to. That being said, I do have all my PSDs on Patreon, and this will be being uploaded later to the Patreon. For those of you who want to take a look at all these layers for yourself, it will be uploaded to the Patreon. Fear not. Fear not. So yeah, if you're interested in that, if you're on YouTube, you can click that link, but I'll do the whole spiel at the end. We're focusing on overpainting. All right, let's go ahead and do the nose. The nose is also very easy because basically we've got everything set up. Now what I want you guys to avoid is this right here. You say, okay, well, we've got, like, you laid out you've done the hard work already, okay? So don't stress. Don't stress, okay? You've done all the hard work. Don't go crazy, okay? Like, all you got to do is you're literally just figuring out all these little things that you didn't in the very beginning. Like, say, we want a little bit more intensity just right on the edge of that nose. Blending that in, but overall, what I don't want you to do is think that you have to start redefining this nose. It'll be like, okay, so it's a real nose, so we need to go in here and be like, okay, let's like render it like that, and then it goes up like that, and you're like redrawing it, right? Don't do that. You want to stay as close. The reason why it looked good like this is because that shape was already there. So another thing that I like to think of when I'm overpainting is not giving your yordles human noses, but using the shapes that have already been set up. And now you're just softening things. You're just softening things, okay? You're making it look nice. You might add a little detail here or there, but overall, I want you to stay very, very close to your original shape, okay? And blend lines. Blend that stuff. Blend it right in. And you'll live long and prosper, okay? Get a little bit of that reflected light in there. Sure, you can do that. But again, not changing the shape. Don't change that shape. I'll find you. I will find you. Even the people that would like me to find them, I will find you. All right, here we go. I'm also going to blend in these blush lines. It looked cute in the drawing, but I'm curious if it'll look too strange once I start blending everything else in. I don't know. What do you guys think? Screw it. I'll leave it in. It's a stylistic choice. It's my style. I can do whatever I want. My style. But see how a lot of your work has already been done? Like, that's why I love this technique so much, because now you can be like, okay, let's go in and just add a little bit more light to this eyelid, say. A little bit more light to that eyelid. And then blend it. Blend it. These eyelids are looking a little muddy. See that? See how this looks a little, it goes to like gray? It's like, ugh. Ugh. Don't do that. So you're going to grab some of this. Hey, this pink looks really lively. Let's grab some of that. Grab some of that with our alt click. Put some of that in. Oh, that's much better. Much better. Soften that up. But again, not changing the shapes. Not changing the shapes, just adding a little bit of detail. A little bit of detail went a long way. A little bit of detail always goes a long way. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. There we go. Got that nose figured out. They have more like chipmunk noses now. I really like that. I love their little chipmunk noses. Very, very cute. All right, so I'm going to continue like this for just a little bit, but in the meantime, I think it's time for a little something we like to call the question catapults. All right, ladies and gentlemen, cast your questions over the castle walls as has been instructed in the video, and I will answer all of them right now in the chat to your right. Right, I have to point to the left to point right. It's really weird. Stage left. Stage left. Or no, stage right. There you go. Post your questions, and I will answer them. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get back. I will switch the screen back. I forgot to do that last time. Switch the screen on back. And let's continue with our beautiful piece. Softening, softening, having fun. Cute, cute, cute. Love it. I'm gonna condense this highlight in just a little bit more. Yeah, see? Look at that. That's cute. That is just darling. Darling. Cute. And I'll deal with the rest of that crap later. Okay. There should be a shine right there and maybe one right there. Alrighty, people. Your questions should be filtering in right about now. I'm going to take a look at the chat in just a moment. I'm just softening things, making sure they look dandy, making sure everything looks great and not distorted or deformed. We don't want deformed Lulu. Yeah. There we go. All right, whatever. It's very subtle, but whatever. You get the idea. Whatever, you get the idea. Did that actually help? Yeah, it helped a little bit. All right, I'll deal with that more later. But see how now we are creating a face. We are creating a face. We are painting in a face, and the key here is subtlety, people. Subtlety. Subtlety creating that face. All right. Questions coming in. Palis Nava is asking, sometimes I soften my shadows and for some reason it seems odd, as if I should use cell shadows instead. How do you get that mixed feeling between cartoony and realistic? Good question. Good question, Palis Nava. I really think the mixture or the fusion of those two styles doesn't happen necessarily in the way that you color it, but rather the underlying mechanics of it, like the underlying proportions. Like notice this is obviously a cartoon character, but we're going in and we're rendering it more realistically. However, I think another thing that you can do to make sure your lines still exist is kind of like what I was talking about, blending those lines to like a very thin point like this, right? As opposed to, like I said, these are thick lines, but now we're making those disappear. They're still kind of there, but more often than not, you're introducing stylization, but it's also rendered with realistic lighting. I think that's really what it is. It's like you can stylize your character, stylize the colors, stylize all that stuff, but really when it comes down to is you got to understand how lighting works, how your shadows work. You have that subsurface scattering like I talked about right here. Let me go ahead and show that. So the subsurface scattering, which is happening right here. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, we need something else. Give me a blue or something. There we go. Subsurface scattering is happening right here. See the shadow going to the skin, but then we have this interesting thing in the middle, which is this very saturated little layer that happens. It's happening right here in the nose too, and probably should be happening even more. And that is, like I said, the light entering your skin and then refracting, giving it sort of like this reddish glow. So I think as you start implementing more realistic colors into your drawings, they will begin to get that look that you're going for. That blending of cartoony and realistic. All right, next question. Kawaii Love. Kawaii Lolly Love. Do you want Fnatic to go 18-0? I don't know. Seriously, I don't follow esports that much. But that would be pretty tight. Okay, you guys are getting silly now. Will you marry me? Dark irony. I'm sorry. I'm taken. Sorry. Let's see. Sardinas. You guys are I feel like the people that highlight my name, they get an unfair advantage. Totally. How can I understand the shadows and lighting? Where to put the shadows? I really think that just comes into, or you really just got to think about consistency. It's really all about consistency. So let's take a look at this. Where do you think the lighting is coming from? Well, if I did my job, you should be thinking that the lighting is coming from the top right, because hey, look at that. We got shadows. We got cast shadows happening here. We've got bright shadows and highlights happening here and here and here. You know, like all of your lighting must be consistent. And the best way I could say this is just, why not go to the place where it's perfect? Study from photos, study from real life. And you will, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect in all your drawings, but the most important thing is consistency. If your shadows are on one side of your character, make sure they're on that side for the rest of the character. Simple stuff. All right. Ooh, Due to Hazard is asking a good one. Doing a tutorial on background effects like rain and snow. That would be a good tutorial to do. If I end up doing a picture that has that, I will get into that. But one of the effects that we will be talking about as we get further in this piece is water. It's going to be more stylized, kind of cartoony water, but water nonetheless. And we'll be getting to that. We'll be having some good old times. All right, a couple more questions. I'm going to do a couple more alterations to this face, and then we're going to end today's show. It's been so good. Just freaking nailed it. Nailed today's show. Feeling good. Let's see here. Oh, Inertial Mage is asking a good one. We'll end on this one. We'll end with this question. How do you blend the colors and gradients so well? Okay, that is something that I did not explain. I've explained it in prior episodes, but I will explain it once again. So you've got your brush, right? And you might notice that as I'm coloring, I'm able to sort of like grab colors. So let's go ahead and blend something. So let's say, okay, I want this color. And then I switch to my eyedropper. That is not me mind controlling my Photoshop. That is me just hitting the Alt key. If you're using your brush and then you hit the Alt key, it magically turns into your eyedropper, okay? So I use that, click it, and then I have my eyedrop tool. So let's go ahead and color this lip in, okay? But now we want to have a little bit, let's say we want to blend something like this tongue. We want to get rid of like the texture here. We want to make it look a little bit more nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is Alt-click that right there. And then I'll actually end up probably having a cast shadow here, but for tutorial purposes, let's go ahead and blend this. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll Alt-click, right, like that. And then I will lay down a little bit of that. Okay, I'll press lightly, right? And then I'll Alt-click again to where those two colors meet, okay? Alt-click again where those two colors meet. Alt-click again where those two colors meet. And can you see, like, sometimes I'll just Alt-click like that, put a line through. Alt-click, put a line through. Alt-click, put a line through. And see how now we have a much softer transition. How about that? But that's not what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be having of course, we all know it's going to be a cast shadow right here. So it's probably going to look more like that in the end. But regardless, that was just for tutorial's sake. But yeah, that looks really cute. Look at that. That's awesome. That's really cool. A nice, happy, sunny day. Maybe there's another place that I can show blending. Oh, this is a good spot right here. This is a good spot to show blending. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a nice banding effect on this hair right here. Hey, you're getting a hair tutorial out of this today too. Thanks goes out to who asked this? Sardinas. And I probably totally butchered your name, but regardless, you're getting credit for it. Sardinas, thank you for the awesome idea and for the extra tutorial. That's what everybody's saying right now in the chat. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick a color like this. So I'm going to lay this down around that highlight, okay? Lay that down. And now we're going to start blending, okay? Alt-click, blend, alt-click, blend, alt-click, blend, 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 like that. Now we have a smooth gradient. Now we have a much smoother gradient. See that? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now we're going to start blending in our light colors, okay? Light colors. Right there and there and there. Okay, so we have something like that. And now we're going to put in that extra hot, hot, hot specular that comes from the sun. Comes from the sun. Which is, it is actually over there. Comes from the sun that way. So let's go ahead and put in that hot, hot highlight. It's going to be very thin. Just breaking on through right through there like that. Boom, and there you go. That's how you can create hair like that. And then another thing that I really like to do is I'll actually go in and I'll do things like this. I'll put little extra flyaways and, I'll grab like this dark color and I'll kind of put a line through it. See how now this is starting to look more like hair? Very cool, huh? Take this little highlight, put that, kind of follow that little crease that goes through there, okay? Follow that crease that goes through there. And then, right before your eyes, now you're drawing hair like KNKL. Amazing. It's actually not the best tutorial. It's not the best. It couldn't all be perfect, whatever. Okay, well, whatever, that's good enough. Okay, so that's a quick tutorial on hair. It'll look a lot better in the end, but see, that was basically how we did it. Blend in colors, the alt-click method. Alrighty, ladies and gents, with all that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and end today's show. Thank you guys so much for joining me live on Twitch. People on YouTube, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Don't forget, also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can click that little link down there. If you'd like to support me on the Patreon, you can get not only today's PSD, but all the other PSDs that have ever been created during the history of this show. Well, since I started the Patreon probably like a few months ago. But yeah, this PSD is going up, and you can get access to all the other PSDs. Yeah, you can check that out on YouTube. People in the chat, I'll post the link to the Patreon right at the end. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and end it. Did I already do my thing? Oh, crap. Did I already do my thing? Oh, yeah, people on YouTube, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. My name is Kienan Lafferty. You guys take care of yourself. Oh, the last thing, my awesome sponsors. Thank you so much to David Cariello and Laura Bashir. These people are awesome. Also sponsors on Patreon. If you'd like to get an animated portrait done of yourself, go check that out as well. All right, now we are finally done, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys take care of yourself. I'll see you on Thursday for a good old thoughtful. And until then, you guys stay awesome and take these things that I've taught you. Go out and make awesome art. I'll see you guys next time.